So,
Okay.
Dr. Beardsley, we brought you on to talk about innovation. Perhaps you can share a little bit about what you're doing and what your journey's been like in bringing a new product to market.
Sure. One of the things, as I told you, one of the things I do in my day job is I repair dialysis fistulas and grafts. So a fistula is a connection between an artery and a vein where the vein will dilate a little bit and allow it to be palpated and used for dialysis. So the technicians are placing large bore needles into the vein in order to get blood for the dialysis machine. And a graft is where you have a synthetic piece of material like vortex, like a tube that's connecting an artery and a vein. It's used for the same purpose. It's for putting needles into to get blood. And so I repair them, and I kind of have recognized that there's not really a way for me to effectively communicate with the dialysis center staff. So if I see a patient who has a problem and I can recognize that the problem is because of puncturing in one particular area too many times so that it weakens that vein or that graft, I can't really communicate that back to the dialysis center. And if I see something angiographically, which is where I take x-rays with contrast dye in the access in the vein, I might see outpouchings or aneurysms or areas of scarring, narrowing. And these are areas that I might want to flag so that the dialysis technician doesn't place a needle there because it will create more trauma. There's no way for me to do that. And so, having worked in the dialysis center, I kind of know a little bit about what I'm seeing there as a technician. And I visited dialysis centers, of course, as part of my job, just to get a good understanding. And so I really wanted to connect all these individuals by having some visible map of the access. So it's almost like a Google Maps of the bloodstream. And so what I contemplated was having a photographic image of the patient's arm. So what the cannulator, what the technician would see in the dialysis center, where I can then overlay the historic record of all the cannulation points and all the hazards, so that I can see when the patient's with me in the interventional lab, I can see what they're doing in the dialysis center by looking at that image. And when they're in the dialysis center, they can see what I've done as an interventionalist, and also they can see their own records. So as it stands currently, they only can look at the arm and visibly see where there might be a scab from the prior puncture, which may go away after 4 or 5 days. And so they don't really know the historic record. But with what I wanted to do is provide a way for them to see a year of data, where those needles have been over a year, where are areas being overutilized, what areas are not being punctured very much, and why. And so I developed a software product called Ristra, which allows you with a single image to see all that information. So it really adds to the situational awareness of the technicians who are placing needles into the access to be able to know what they've done in the past, what areas are hazards, and to avoid those, and to follow the best practice of access.